Hello, this is the Thinker speaking. We're living in the times of inner confusion, where our bodies feel the stress of a mind that just can't stop. But people from long ago already knew that there is no real line between the two, that body and mind are just two sides of the same coin. Today, I want to invite you to join me on a journey that connects Stoicism with modern psychosomatics. We'll bring together the wisdom of ancient thinkers with the science that now shows us how it all works. Maybe by the end of the journey we'll understand that good health, a calm mind, and inner strength all come from the same place. The awareness that guides our thoughts and calms our bodies. Stoicism was born in a time of chaos. The wars, the losses, and the crisis of the Roman Empire led many to look inside themselves for a strength that didn't depend on luck or power. Epictetus, who was a slave, taught that we can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we react to it. Seneca, an advisor to emperors, said that true freedom means not being a slave to our feelings. And Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, wrote in his meditations that a man's mind becomes what it thinks about, often. These teachings weren't just theories. They were tools for living a balanced life, even when things were tough and uncertain. A Stoic learned to accept reality without fighting it, to understand that every event is part of a bigger plan, even if we don't always get it. In this calm acceptance, the soul finds peace, and when the soul is peaceful, the body responds. The ancients didn't use the word psychosomatic, but they understood what it meant. They knew that thoughts affect our breathing, our pulse, our posture, and even how we look. They knew that anger burns, sadness chills, and fear freezes you. That's why the Stoics suggested watching your emotions like waves in the ocean. It's not about denying them, but about not letting them pull you under. A wise person isn't someone who doesn't feel, but someone who knows how to feel without losing control of themselves. This way of thinking creates chemical, hormonal, and nervous balance. Even if they didn't call it that, the body then becomes a mirror of the mind, and when the mind is in order, it gives the body back its natural harmony. Modern psychosomatics came about when medicine realized that many physical illnesses have emotional roots, that the body screams what the mind keeps quiet. Each organ seems to respond to a certain type of conflict. Our stomach suffers from what we can't emotionally digest. Our skin reacts to boundaries that have been crossed. Our heart beats faster from fear and stops from sadness. When an emotion can't find a conscious way out, the body translates it into biological language. It's not a punishment or an accident, it's an attempt at balance. The body tries to fix what the mind has unbalanced. Modern medicine has measured these reactions. Long-term stress raises cortisol, changes blood pressure, and weakens the immune system. But beyond the numbers, the important thing is to understand the deep meaning of the message. The body does not lie. We can fool the world with a smile, but not the heart that beats faster, nor the muscle that tenses, nor the breath that shortens. Every symptom is a word from the soul trying to be heard. When we learn to read this language, illness stops being an enemy and becomes a silent teacher. It teaches us where we still lack balance, where we keep resisting what we should accept, or keeping quiet what we should express. Stoicism, with its philosophical view, and psychosomatics, with its scientific view, meet at the same point. Inner control is the key to well-being. The Stoic trained their mind not to be a slave to impulses. The psychosomatic tries to understand what emotion is hidden behind each body reaction. Both paths point in the same direction, the joining of awareness and body, reason and emotion, mind and matter. Let's imagine for a moment that we reach this harmony, that our thoughts flow without trouble, that emotions move without being held back, and that the body breathes freely. This would be perfect psychosomatics, the point where what we feel, think, and do are all in line. There's no fight between mind and body because both follow the same awake awareness. It's an ideal, yes, but also a possible path. Every day we can get a little closer by watching what we feel without judging, understanding our reactions without guilt, and breathing before we respond. This moment of pause is the start of Stoic wisdom. It's the moment when the body stops being a victim of the mind and the mind stops hurting the body. Perfect psychosomatics doesn't mean never getting sick, but rather understanding the deep meaning of every imbalance. Physical pain can be how our soul calls us to stop, to change an attitude, to let go of a stuck emotion. So, when a symptom appears, the inner thinker doesn't panic. They ask, listen, observe. What is this trying to tell me? What part of me needs attention? That question is medicine, because the body doesn't need silence as much as it needs conscious listening. The Stoics already knew this. Epictetus said, it's not what happens that bothers us, but what we tell ourselves about what happens. Psychosomatic confirms it's not the event that makes us sick, but how we interpret it. If we change our interpretation, our body's chemistry changes. Our thoughts can set us free or poison us. Our mind can be a garden or a desert, and every inner word is a seed our body receives. We live in a culture that separates things. The body on one side, the mind on the other, reason on one side, emotion on the other. This division makes us sick. True knowledge doesn't break things apart. It brings them together. That's why the modern thinker needs to go back to old wisdom, but with a new understanding. Being Stoic isn't about being cold or distant. It's about being aware. It's about feeling without losing clarity. It's about letting emotions exist without letting them take over. It's about responding calmly where others react on impulse. When we achieve this, the mind becomes the body's friend, not its enemy. The path to perfect psychosomatics isn't a technique but an attitude. It's a way to live in your body with presence and gratitude, to realize that every thought leaves a mark and every emotion shapes your health. We are not victims of fate or our genes, but co-creators of our well-being. The Stoic knows this. Whoever controls their mind controls their life, and the Psychosomatic confirms whoever heals their thoughts heals their body. That's why the biggest challenge of our time isn't about technology, but about what's inside us. It's not about running faster, but about learning to stop. It's not about collecting more, but about understanding. Calmness is the new strength. Awareness is the new medicine. Maybe we'll never reach a state of perfect balance, but every step we take toward it changes the quality of our lives. One mindful breath can change a decision. A pause can prevent an illness. A kind thought can relax a muscle. The mind's power over the body is real, and the body's power over the mind is too. Walking, breathing, looking at the sky, or hugging someone are all things that rearrange our energy. That's why when the body moves in harmony, the mind thinks clearly, and when the mind calms down, the body heals. Stoicism teaches us to accept. Psychosomatics teaches us to listen. Both ideas come together at one point of complete wisdom, living mindfully, understanding that everything that happens has a meaning that shows itself in our inner quiet. There, where thoughts quiet down and breathing becomes deep, true health is born. This is perfect psychosomatics, not a theory, but a way of being in the world, an art of bringing together what we can see with what we can't, a bridge between what we feel and who we are. Thank you for joining me in this reflection. If this message connected with you, please subscribe to the channel and share this video. Every elevated thought helps to raise our shared spirit. This was The Thinker. Until next time.